What's up, everybody? It is the second ever episode of Teamfight Talkshow. It's April 1st, but there's no jokes here as we have our constant co-host for this show, Frodan, returning. How's it going, Frodan?
It's going great, Travis. I've been having a lot of fun trying to experiment on today's patch, and overall, I've been enjoying Set 3 a lot. But I'm really excited that we have two awesome guests joining us today as well.
Yeah, my sources told me that earlier today you were participating in an internal tournament.
Who told you that? Because that is
I have sources.
I didn't realize that was public knowledge. Yes, I am registered for the Amazon internal TFT tournament, and people have pegged me as one of the favorites. So that puts a lot of pressure on me because I'm a 1st or 8th kind of gamer, and I think that I'm not sure how that pans out well in tournaments. Maybe Milk can answer that. I feel like that's
hopefully, yeah. I was going to say, hopefully, our golden guest this week can help provide some insight into that. We've got Becca and DeliciousMilk GG. We'll start with Becca because she's first in the line. Becca, how are you doing?
Okay, I'm tilted. I'm really tilted. I don't want him. I'm tilted. I'm already tilted.
Yeah. Do you want to explain why you're tilted? Because people who are watching the VOD of this have absolutely no idea why you're screaming, I'm tilted.
Oh. It's nothing. I'm not tilted. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, for people who don't know, right before the show, we were chilling.
I'd love to have Delicious'Milk.
No!
I would love to hear Milk's perspective.
Delicious'Milk, would you like to explain why Becca is tilted?
She has no reason to be tilted.
Okay.
I'm even more tilted than her. I went yesterday.
Oh my god, it's not all about you. We're talking about
8th, 7th, 7th, 8th.
Playing what?
Rebels alt tabbed.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Well, I'm so glad that we've got two people that are in the best of moods ever to be our second ever co-host for this show or guest for the show.
I've been playing alt tab Rebels too.
Having a lot of fun already.
Like when I'm not streaming, I'm playing Animal Crossing while I'm playing TFT, and it's really hard.
Is it
Becca?
Yeah, I hear an echo. Is that me?
Yeah, I hear a little bit of an echo. Maybe we'll get it resolved. I don't know who's echoing, but sorry for anybody listening to the podcast or whatever. We're working on it. All right, this is the second ever episode, and it's April Fool's. We can't do everything perfect. Anyway. So Becca just got 8th right before the show, literally 3 minutes before. That's what happened, and she's really excited about that. But let's get into the show. So it's patch day. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to do an interview with Becca and Milk right now. We're going to talk about the kind of like first impressions and that type of stuff, and then we'll end by discussing the Giant Slayer series, which is coming up soon. So that's the show for today. First off, in this interview, Becca, what is behind you?
It's clean clothes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's what I do with all my clean clothes.
Yeah. That's nice that you decided to feature that on the stream.
Do you want me to move it?
I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I love the idea of making that the first question. So, Becca, let's talk a little bit. So, you joined Golden Guardians recently. You and I did an interview, but perhaps some people haven't seen it yet. What led you to joining Golden Guardians?
I had been wanting to join an org for a while because I stream a lot, and yeah. Oh man, my brain is so fried right now because of that last game. Okay, can you ask Milk a question
to let you play a game before the thing started, and now these are the results.
Yeah, can you ask Milk a question first and then ask me?
What? I don't want to go first.
Milk.
Okay.
Sure. What's the question?
Throw to you.
What was the question?
You recently joined Golden Guardians.
Yes.
What was this experience been like?
It's been pretty cool. Like all the Golden Guardians, the gore is actually like much better than I thought it'd be. Actually, like everyone's like really good, and everyone.
Do you think it would be bad?
No, it's just better than I thought it'd be.
Okay.
Yes.
Your expectations were low.
No, they were like in the middle, and like I was like everyone's pretty cool, especially on the staff. I was kind of surprised.
Well, that's good
I
to
don't know
hear.
why.
Talk to some of the other people that also have played TFT, but maybe not as much, like Tides of Time and Dog.
What was watching? Sorry.
How close are you, or how much do you hang out like other Golden Dog and Tides?
I don't really talk to Tides at all. Well, actually, like, I guess I hung out with him at LA when I was like rooming with him. They gave me this coronavirus scare. So I was like, yeah. But Dog I talk to like maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, for like one line.
Okay, so Milk was really scared after we had our Golden Guardians media day because Tides was worried that he might have corona because he had like really intense flu symptoms. And then Milk would just message me every day talking about how itchy his throat feels, or that like his breath feels short. But he said, "Man, I think I might have shortness of breath, but that might just be how I normally breathe. I can't tell." Like,
I didn't see that.
That's what he said. His very word.
This chair. All right, change the topic.
Let's get back to Teamfight Tactics. First off, what have you guys? Because we're going to talk about the patch in a second, but we haven't had a chance to interview either of you about galaxies and set 3 and all that stuff. So, what do both of you think of set 3?
All right, this set rate would probably be it's actually my least favorite set so far.
Really?
I haven't been that much fun with it because, I mean, the first patch, GP literally just one-shots everything. So I feel like the first patch wasn't even like a patch because GP just goes boom and everyone's dead. And the only thing that can live it is what? Rebels with their shield. So it's kind of like... Also, like, I feel like in set 1 and 2, you played like a level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, right? But now it's like half the comps, you don't even roll until 8. And also, like, there's a lot more like 6 synergy comps now. Because, you know, like, in PBE it was like 6 orcs, right? And those 6 rebels, and now there's a lot of 6 cybers. And, like, you can't really pivot that much as before, I guess. I don't know. Like, I feel like... And also, like, there's a lot of comps that only support 1 people, like Protectors, Mech Infiltrator. Like, all the reroll comps only support, like, 1 people, really. I don't know. I just feel like you played more of, like, a 6, 7, and 8 before in set 1 and 2.
I think that's just because it's relatively fresh, so the balance is going to take a while to get more variety on comps.
It's true.
And then I feel like,
pretty. Set 2 is like pretty bad in the beginning too, right? When they launched the new set.
Yeah, and then I feel like Riot wanted to...
In set 2, I think the meta changed almost every single day, actually. Like for like.
It did.
Yeah, because it was like Ocean Mages, but then it was like some things into like you don't really play some Orsons, and you just like transitioned a lot. I don't know. It's also like you played more of a 6, 7, and 8. You know, like now like almost everyone just 4-3s it. You know?
Do you feel like people figured out the comps faster with this set because people are just getting better at figuring out comps?
No, I think it's because it's more so just like, I mean, the first patch was GP. You know, it's like GP. That champion's kind of broken.
I think it's because Riot wanted to take the good parts of set 1 and the good parts of set 2, and incorporate them into set 3. So set 1 was a little easier and flashier. So I think that's probably why you're like less content with how the set's been so far, because it is a little easier, like a little bit less decision making than set 2, but people find it more fun.
But doesn't it feel like you don't get lost as much to set?
Yeah, it is easier than
like
set 2.
In set 2, didn't you just get lost like every game? You get like a little bit lost.
Yeah. But
I mean, I just watched Becca get lost.
Better. No, I wasn't lost. I was last. To get it right.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood.
But no, it's. I think once the balance is better, there'll probably be more variety, and maybe you'll get lost more Milk.
I think it's like a more of a set thing. But okay, I'm gonna grind this patch though. Like I was kind of trolling first patch. I'll grind back this patch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too much into the patch yet because that's our next topic. But Milk, like, are you What are your general thoughts on TFT as a whole? Like, do you still really like the game? Or are you getting kind of like tired of it? Like, because I'm just curious,
Okay.
you know, how you're doing.
I mean, all right, last set, I kind of just quit the game for like 2 weeks. Last, like maybe a month actually. Okay, I don't know how long. I quit it for a little bit because I was just like, playing this set's pointless, you know, because there's nothing to play for. So I got really sad. Got depressed, just like grinding the ladder all day and just holding it, and I feel like nothing was happening. But this set, I know it matters, but I'm just gonna try this patch. I just like the first patch, but I know competitors coming out soon, right? So I just have to like grind again.
And that's something you're really interested in. The competitive side.
Yeah.
How about you, Becca? Are you interested in the competitive stuff? I know that we still don't know all the details, but
I feel like I don't think so, because I mean, it'd be nice if you could do it without being super sweaty and try hard, but you would have to try so hard to stay at the top of the ladder. And I don't know how much I don't know how much of my sanity I want to lose. Just eating and breathing the game only. But
yeah.
It depends. It depends. I mean, if they make an announcement and it's like huge, then I'll put all my to it. But
what does it take? What would it take for you to? Is it just like a big financial thing for placing, like a lot of money that you could potentially get, or what is it that makes you want to would make you want to compete?
Oh, that's a good question. I like. I think. Wait, I need to think about this.
Okay,
Milk, do you have an answer?
Let's start to Milk. Milk, what would you like? Like, what would entice you most to compete? It sounds like you're already planning on doing it, but what are you hoping to see?
Doesn't even matter. I'll just play.
You'll just compete. So you just want to compete for the sake of competing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess for me it would be like good production and good coverage. So and if I could get a lot of people to come watch my stream more, like more people to watch my stream. I don't think it's the money, but I think that but a big prize pool would probably bring in more viewers. So
yeah, Frodan,
and more people to playing, because then more people would want to try hard.
Yeah. Frodan, did you have any questions for either of these wonderful folks before we move on to talking about the patch?
I think that it's heavily implied that they want to talk about the patch in the set, so let's go ahead and just do that.
Sure. Okay. On to 10.7 patch notes review. So I don't have like a great way to structure this, because I feel like you guys are just going to rant about the things you want to rant about based off my experiences with people who are heavily invested in video games. So, we can just go ahead and pull up. I see already on screen we've got buffs, nerfs, reworks, adjusts. So, what of the patch 10. What of 10.7 do you guys like?
GP
I think the first thing that people are going to look at is the changes to a lot of the legendaries. 5 costs have pretty much ruled set 3 pretty dramatically. You've heard Milk talk a little bit about it, or a lot about it if you've just listened to him discuss it with people. And so I think that was very much needed. That being said, it still kind of feels like those legendaries, which are really important to certain compositions, are still like really important and impactful. So it feels like the day one meta still has kind of been like people largely rushing to 8, or they're just like rolling to get their 3-star Shakos, their 3-star protectors, to try and like contest those late games. So there's still kind of that polarization of economic strategies of people who econ slowly, or people who like aggressively try to get those 3-star units.
Milk, are you happy with the nerfs? I mean, obviously you're happy with the Gangplank nerf because you felt like...
Gangplank, I mean, everyone knows Gang. I mean, are you guys surprised I didn't get B patched or hotfixed?
Well, that's actually something that we have in our news, which is, one of the more controversial points was that, in TFT and Teamfight Tactics, for people who don't know, is that it syncs up with the patches for League of Legends. So every 2 weeks, 10.7, 10.8, etc., they will be releasing TFT patches alongside League of Legends. And usually, if something is super broken, they have to release a B patch 1 week in so that they can address some of those issues. However, even though Rebels were kind of running really rampantly, Mort put out a pretty controversial tweet saying that they're not going to put a B patch, which caused some uproar within the community, to say the least. I'm sure that you heavily disagreed, right, Milk?
I mean, don't you guys? I mean, he probably even agrees. Mort Dog probably agrees. If he's being
Mort agrees with himself.
No, he would agree that GP was probably a B patch.
Oh, like he should have.
Yeah.
So
they made a mistake.
I thought that it was kind of a mistake at first. And then I played for like 2 days, and it felt like the meta did shift, but it shifted like an entire cycle, and we ended exactly
back at Rebels because everyone went straight back to Rebels because like
Right.
1 or 2 people stopped playing. It went from 8 Rebels to like 5 Rebels. So everyone's like, we gotta go Rebels again. There's not 8 people. It's only 5 people.
Well, I mean, okay, so what Milk is talking about is correct. Like, so basically, there was like after this tweet came out, it felt like for like 24 to 48 hours, everyone's like, well, we just got to figure out now that Rebels are here, how can we beat them? And so that kind of started giving rise to Jin comps. And Jin comps had a lot of variation with like 6 Dark Stars, which was really fun to play for a little while. And then people started building 4 Vanguards and then trying to build into Mystics and then use Jin to snipe it. Because the idea is that Jin with Celestial buffs can really out-heal some of the burst that comes out from Rebels, and he'd just be able to one-shot everything slowly. So GP, no problem. ASO, no problem, etc. But then it started going full circle once again to what Milk was talking about, back to everyone just forcing Rebels. So in a way, it was like right, but then wrong again, and then it kind of like danced back and forth. But I mean, I'm happy the patch is here because I think that it definitely needed to address Rebels. And I think it came a little bit later than I wanted to, but in the end, it still feels like a good patch just from day one so far.
Becca, do you think it was a mistake for them to not be more aggressive with the B patch?
Yeah, but it's already it's done now. So
yeah, I mean, but I think what's interesting is I remember for a long time they were patching very quickly and very aggressively, and this is like an instance where obviously they didn't have that mentality. So like it's interesting to reflect on it and see if maybe they.
Hello.
Did Travis' audio just cut out?
Yeah. I mean, it's also like...
Oh, Travis had it.
Can you hear me again?
He said he got a business line installed yesterday, and this is the first thing that I've seen out of it. Not a promising start to your business internet line, Travis.
Yeah, it's well, the business internet line is going to Kobe. I've got the residential, but I think it's more just for some reason sometimes Discord goes wonky on me and drops audio. And then we'll break the entire overlay every time, much to my producer's chagrin. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I think they could have hotfixed GP at least to be not so crazy strong, because everyone just wanted GP. And made it a little boring.
I mean,
and then everyone's just rushing 8. Yeah, they used to. It was weird. I didn't understand why.
It patches for a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem was just it felt like there wasn't a lot of meaningful counterplay to Gangplank, and it almost just became exactly what Milk was describing, which was like the best way to counter him was to just like get your Gangplank to activate the Demolitionist effect before theirs, and then hope that you get the right upgrades like larger area or 2 strikes, etc. And I think that's kind of like maybe a little bit of some of the problems with some of those legendaries. It's just the lack of counterplay, but perhaps we weren't even. I mean, I don't. Maybe the tools are there, and we're just not necessarily as open-minded as we should.
Maybe it was because they wanted the community to band together, like have one common enemy, and everyone doesn't. Everyone, everyone becomes like united, and we're all loving and committed to
That's
TFT against the common enemy. Okay, never mind.
A really wonderful thought.
Okay, next question.
Let's talk about the nerfs, because Milk, like obviously you're happy about the Gangplank one, but I'm curious about. You said in general you were happy with some of these other nerfs.
Not really. I think Asol should not get nerfed. Asol's kind of fine. Like Asol's like one of those champions that you literally, even if you 2-star him, you can't put him in a single comp besides Rebels probably, because he's just kind of useless in any other comp. And like Asol, I mean Rebels without GP isn't even that good, so I don't think Asol needs a nerf really. Echoes, everyone's playing 6 Cyberneck right now, so that's probably a good nerf, because since Rebels fell, 6 Cybernecks right now are probably really good. Shaco 3 is only nerf, right? And he's kind of broken if you hit 3-star Shaco, so that's kind of good. Ezreal's actually probably pretty underrated, because his spell's kind of broken.
Yeah, they nerfed
red
him.
buff nerf for decent, yeah. Oh, I'm just looking at the thing. I'm just going through them all. Yeah.
What do you think, Becca? Do you agree with Milk on ASOL, for instance, probably didn't need nerfs, and the other nerfs being okay?
Well, I haven't really seen too many Rebel games, but I mean, all the nerfs so far seem like they were good, and it doesn't feel like anything's been over nerfed yet. Because there's still good Rebel comps that are being played. Maybe the blasters changed because the Lucian changed, or making his second or his ult proc the blasters. Maybe blasters are too common now. But it feels like it would be easier to counter than the other comps that were OP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most interesting stuff is the rework. I'm really intrigued by how Darkstar, and if people will start playing Mana Reavers a little bit more often. Mana Reavers was widely accepted as the worst synergy in set 3 for a while. And I wonder, because the idea of Mana Reavers is similar to Poison from Rise of the Elements set. So I kind of hope that there's some more tools like that to introduce counterplay in case some compositions become too oppressive. Have you guys gotten to see Darkstar or the Mana Reaver changes in action yet?
Pretty much every game plays Darkstar and Mana Reaver. Because Mana Reaver's with Aurelia and Thresh, which is all Cybernetic players. You just play Aurelia, then you just play Thresh, you have 2 Mana Reaver. And there's a lot of 6 Darkstar players right now, I think.
Do you like the Darkstar change?
I can't even tell if it's a nerf or buff.
Yeah,
I think it's a
similar.
Nerf. But at least I can't tell because there's so many people playing it that maybe it's actually a buff.
Yeah, I actually feel like
because before it was not that many people. But I feel like it got worse.
It is a lot harder now to get your Jins. But I just stopped playing Jins today, halfway through, because I realized everyone wants it. Yeah. But then people stopped playing it halfway through too. After I stopped playing it, everyone else.
I just see too many people go AFF it, so I was like,
yeah.
I mean, is there a world in which either one of these reworks is too strong?
No,
I would enjoy watching your expressions, Milk, as you consider it. You're just kind of working.
No, I mean, the Mana Reaver one's really good for Cybernetics, I think, because you just play Aurelia and Cybernetics and you add in Thresh. That's really simple. So that's really good for Cybernetics. Darkstar one, I haven't seen enough of it, but it's probably. Yeah.
Well, are there nerfs, or are there things that should have been nerfed that aren't on the nerf list that you guys would have liked to see there?
There probably is, but I just can't think about it right now. I have to go
that's fair.
through all the champions and look at them, probably.
Frodan,
not off the top of my head, that's beyond broken, I guess.
Is there anything you think is missing from the nerf list?
From nerfs? The one thing that I still feel like I'm not sure upon right now is the current state of pacing in TFT. I think the late game damage power spike, basically, for people who don't know, the base damage ramps up like crazy when it starts hitting stage 6 and onwards. And it almost kind of makes the early game health advantage that you accrue feel somewhat meaningless, because you're usually evaluating everything in TFT through number of lives that you have. So you're okay, I'm at 25 life, that gives me 2 lives, but it feels like that kind of gets thrown out the window towards the late game, and you're just well, everyone's on sudden death. And I feel like that, if anything, might need a little bit of nerf, but at the same time, I don't want my TFT games to be on average 45 minutes. So I'm not sure exactly how I want to adjust that, but I think that would have cascading effects on exactly what Milk was talking about, which was making the level differences feel a little bit more meaningful, as opposed to just play whatever you get, don't ever reroll and try to rush to level 8.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because of Street Gold? Because
wait, there's just so many things with this set, Streak Roll. I mean, it's you either have to win streak the Krugs, or you have to lose streak the Krugs half the time.
Yeah.
Or else you're just dirt poor. Because that 3 gold is 6 gold, right? Before Krugs, and which actually becomes 7, 8, 9, 10 gold probably.
Yep, it's insane.
It's just way too much. So I don't even like the gold changes that much. I don't know.
Would you guys like to have seen them reverted in this patch?
No, I mean,
I think they're in too deep, kind of.
Maybe a tweak.
I don't know. Maybe they're not, because in set 1 they changed everything like crazy all the time between how gold work. But this is my least favorite set probably, in terms of how gold works. Because you just don't play. You just don't play couple levels, Like the amount of open people that just open for everything is like higher than ever.
Yeah. Frodan, anything else on the buff or nerf list before we move on to, for instance, item fixes?
Yeah, so one thing that I kind of want to ask is that every time when I was playing or watching my friends climb through Diamond/Master on their way to GM was I occasionally saw a Blade Master composition. And I just like really couldn't understand it. And I never saw them win, but I also saw them like constantly break a top 4 composition. Is that just kind of like, did I miss it? Did I miss something as if one streamer was just like maining it the entire time and kind of popularizing it? Or is it just kind of a meme build that people gravitate to, like Space Pirates?
I haven't seen anyone play it 6 Blade Master.
Same.
Yeah, so it probably doesn't exist in the GM, but like I every time, like every 5 games, I like saw one, and it kind of blew my mind that they were playing 6 Blade Masters, and they were like rolling it down every single time. And
Really? I want to try it.
It was pretty insane, and then it also incidentally like hurt a bunch of Rebel players that were holding out on finding like 2-star Yasuo and all that stuff because like they don't really roll. So the people they like leave it open for the people that did roll. It was really interesting.
Wait, they're hyper rolling Blade Masters?
Yeah. But
That
like,
sounds
7
horrible. Because you're never gonna. I mean, you're almost never gonna 3-star Yi or Yasuo. I feel right.
That's what I thought. And like they would always like top 4 and then like annoy everybody in the lobby and then lose. So I wasn't sure if it was just a meme build or anything, but because I saw the buff here and I wasn't sure if that would actually make it a more meaningful comp that is like people. Maybe it's like an undiscovered underground comp that no one's playing right now.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Oh,
way,
wait.
Mort, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Mort linked something good, and NA linked like a Korean player's match history, and he just has a bunch of like Xayah carry with static shiv, and it looks so fun.
Ooh,
so Mort is in the Twitch chat, and then somehow got banned, which I think was because he got auto banned for linking a link, which I find quite funny. I don't know if he's still banned because I haven't seen him say anything since then. But hopefully that gets resolved. But yes, he did link something, which is that one of the TFT devs linked a Reddit thread about player damage and streak adjustment that's happening on PBE. I don't know if you guys, it went up like 50 minutes ago, less than an hour ago. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance to take a look at it, but maybe we should try to pull that up if we can. I'll link it in the Discord chat for you guys, and I don't know if we'll be able to show it on screen or not, but it's like looks like some interesting stuff.
Wait, this is a thing? Wait, I've never seen this. What the fuck?
So right now they say that just kind of high level as Milk and Beck are leaning into their monitors to read it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You can both lead in. I think it's great. Just read it. I just thought it was funny that you both did it at the same time. So right now, high level for podcast listeners, the problems that they're identifying are that late and end game compositions are too consistently attainable without enough risk, and that the game flow of TFT has become a bit too predictable. So they're going to move player damage back into surviving units of a combat, and streak gold values are also going to be reduced. So it's kind of funny that we're discussing this right as this stuff starts to come out. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to finish reading it. There we go. We have it up on screen now.
Did it. Our talk show did it.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to our producer. So obviously you guys are looking at the values right now, and there's a lot of math or something to, I don't know. It seems complicated to take it all at once, but what are your initial impressions on these changes?
I like the streak change. It seems like it would be a little better. Or less snowballing.
Yeah, I think aggression needs to be a real threat. And I know that like people in strategy games in general, like generally don't like to favor aggressive strategies compared to like defensive controlling strategies, because it's like perceived that the longer the game goes, you make better decisions, and therefore the more skilled player wins. And when the game becomes too aggressive, when everyone's just supposed to roll their gold down all the time at like stage 3-1 or 3-2, then it does become a little bit too like luck determining the factors of how your composition can get filled out. But like right now, there's just not enough aggression, period. So it's kind of exactly like what we've been describing. And I feel like having damage from surviving units is very meaningful for that. So people that do choose to roll down and be more aggressive with 2-star, potentially 3-star units, puts pressure on other people to start like evaluating the risk versus reward. because that is like a really important skill to evaluate in TFT, which is like, am I supposed to roll down now or am I supposed to hold on? And that's like a question that is like a centerpiece of the tension that's within this game and makes it really exciting for streamers and for the viewers. And I think that like this kind of damage scaling was always a really big, important part of it. So I'm glad that they're reconsidering it. I'm not sure if the numbers are correct, but at least philosophically, I like where the direction's going.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. But if we had to choose between everyone being really aggressive, like during the Ninja Kali, when the Kali was broken, I would prefer like slower long-term games where people are safer.
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
Prefer the latter. God.
Mel, do you have any thoughts on the changes?
I pretty much agree with Frodan. Like, I feel like right now, like almost any kind of change is good, because it's just like way too like. I feel like shrieks shouldn't like matter like as much as it does. You know, like since they made like Krug's shriek matter, if you don't shriek, it's just like so snowbally that it's like insane. I feel.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Let's see if we have anything else on. Oh, we haven't had a chance to get into the item fixes yet. I believe that we should be able to pull that up. But now, combined rules will always prioritize items from champs on the board. So this is a little bit old news because it was about a week ago or so, maybe 5 days ago that this came out. But very simple change, but probably a pretty good one. I assume both of you guys are pretty happy with this.
Yeah, I'm super happy. super happy.
That's just like the kind of RNG you don't really want in a game like this, right? You want to like items and item placement to be pretty predictable.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really like the fun comes in.
Yep, totally agreed.
Yeah,
I think if for our producer, I believe that it should be in the patch notes. In the show notes, we have it under item fixes, which is a tweet that Mort made a little bit ago. If you want to show them, but they even have like the animation there of Leona combining and dropping some items, which is pretty nice. So I'm sure streamers everywhere will rejoice as we move into this new world of items combining. Went ahead and linked it in the Discord chat.
It used to be like that in set 2 and 1, and then just like randomly changed it for set 3.
Yeah. Have you guys had terrible moments in the past where items combined in terrible ways to hilarious effect?
Oh God, yes. Especially when you're stacking for carry like Jin, and you just like you pull a Jin off a carousel or something like that.
Yeah, no, you get like Shaco 3 off the carousel, and then the GA pops off, and you're just you'd rather not have this Shaco anymore.
Yeah, I have now been timed out in chat.
No one is safe. Not even the people.
Twitch chat is brutal. Okay, we now have the animation and the tweet up on the screen. So for anybody who wanted to see what that looks like, you can see the tweet. Okay, so good news for everybody on that. Next up, we have a tweet. Our news is just in Mort Dog tweets this week, I guess. But the next tweet we have, which I'll link in the Discord for our producer, and eventually in the Twitch chat when I get unbanned, is the new the carousel variation changes. I get really annoyed whenever an item I don't need is the only item that's on the carousel. I don't know about you guys, but what's your take on the current carousel rules?
That shit is just like it's just so bad. Cause like, alright, cause it used to be at least you can sell. You know, like you used to be able to sell your carousel unit.
Yeah.
To make it wonderful. Cause used to be like you see what there is at the carousel, and then you can pivot to and you sell half your sell to make gold. But now you have to sell before and pray the items are correct. Cause if you go protector, and there's just 2 offensive carousels, you're just getting like griefed, you know. And the thing is, you have to like commit pretty early usually. And like the carousel is offensive, it's just like kind of you just got grief.
I agree. It kind of punishes you for having a pair on the bench, and then you can't even get the item you want because it's gonna auto combine onto a pair that you don't want the item on.
Yeah, that too.
But I mean, isn't there a reason for it? The reason for it is that they don't want it to be something that like a mechanic that only people that play often. No,
it's I think it's just for mobile players.
Is it for mobile players?
I mean, Mortar said it wasn't. I think it just because of mobile players.
For adaptability. So part of the issue of Carousel, even when they had just like a spatula on the Carousel, is that it was too consistent. And part of the idea of an auto battler is to kind of be fluid in your decision making. That's extremely relative. And you know, I really appreciate. First of all, I do want to say that as much as we're kind of like pulling Mort's tweets and like dissecting everything that feels like it's wrong with it, I do want to say
is this a Mort roast?
that Mort also is kind of doing unprecedented amount of front-facing community discussion, which I think is very underappreciated.
Yeah, Frodan comes from the Blizzard world, so he's not used to this kind of transparency.
And I think it's fantastic to see this kind of communication, and that he's open to suggestion, both from high-level players and from just the casuals. Like, oh, I can't believe that, you know, you haven't nerfed Voids yet.
It's actually insane. Have you seen his Twitter? Like, he responds to like almost everybody that trolls.
Exactly, I think that's great. So that's
He retweets my Alienware post, which is that's actually what I really need. So I appreciate him doing that. That's my biggest reason to like Mort.
That being said, I do feel like the Carousel, like part of the reason why I think that this Carousel is important is because there's a very fine line between just utter chaos and actually being able to be adaptable. Because if you introduce too many randomized elements of it, then there's too much mental clutter of like things that we can't account for. So when you go into the Carousel round, you're like, I'm thinking about components, but then there's like full items, but then it's like, what kind of Carousel do I get? And then there's champions, and you have to evaluate your board, which you can't even see the items still on your board. And there's just too many things to weigh. So I think that like the Carousels, even though they introduce really funny moments, like an all spatula Carousel, I think that they should be a lot more infrequent. So overall, I'm like pretty happy that they're reverting back to a more consistent baseline, and then once in a while, the variation comes into play. And I think that's kind of the baseline in which we should be operating from, as opposed to like, well, anything could happen at any time, and you really don't know.
Yeah, this just brings in a little bit more RNG than there needs to be.
Thoughts on galaxies?
Next up,
the different universes.
Yeah.
I like
are
them.
they different universes or different galaxies? I thought they're different galaxies.
Wait. What's the difference between universe and galaxy?
Oh.
Oh wait. Okay. Never mind. I know. Okay. Galaxy. All right. Whatever. All right. Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about the next on the news list, which is Dark Star Xerath. Frodan, you were the one that I saw popping off about this in chat as we were getting ready for the show this week. So, do you want to lead the discussion on it?
I mean, this is just kind of like a teaser of what's to come. There's only, you know, part of the difficulty of playing like a vertical composition like Cybernetics and Dark Stars is that there's only a certain amount of them, and you need every single one. So, you know, giving more flexibility to your options of how you want to outfit those kinds of vertical compositions, I think, is more fun. And so, you know, this is a tweet that would say it's coming soon to PBE, and people were focusing on the chromatic icons of all these different synergies. But if you look at the background, it's actually the part of the splash art for Dark Star Xerath, which I think is really exciting because Xerath is one of my favorite champions from League of Legends. And it'll be cool to see what he ends up being, like maybe a sorcerer, maybe something else that I'm not thinking about, but almost certainly a Dark Star, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a Dark Star Xerath skin, so it would be very confusing if they made the Dark Star Xerath into a Star Guardian. This doesn't really fit the Star Guardian thematic. Either way, I mean, Milk or Becca, are either of you guys excited about this tease?
I did not. No, this was a tease. I didn't see it.
Wait, how do you see Xerath again?
Huh?
How do you see Xerath?
What?
So the tease. So if we can go back, I don't know if we can on the broadcast, but if we can go back to the shot of all the different icons for the synergies, you can see that the background is a very high up cropped picture of the Dark Star Xerath skin that you can see in a second as we move into that.
Oh, did you see that mask? What trait is that gonna be?
The mask is Infiltrator.
Oh, that is. Oop.
I think it's still going to be Infiltrator. That would be my guess. Is that not planning any changes.
I don't notice the icons at all.
I appreciate that we bring the smartest minds in TFT community to the show.
Anything. The icons don't matter.
Okay, so Next up, I think we're done with patch notes and news. So, Frodan, I know that we now, unless you have something else that I'm forgetting, but is it time to move on to our next topic?
Yes, time to move on.
I'm going to let you lead this segment because this is a Frodan invention, and I have no idea how well it's going to work on broadcast. So let's find out.
It's probably going to catastrophically blow up in our faces, very much like anytime I choose to transition. That's not anything but the top comps meta. But we're going to try to build a tier list together. This is something I want to really do in our shows, which is every so often, based off our guests driving, create what we feel like are early leading candidates of the meta so far. So, Becca and Milk, we totally understand the disclaimer that this could completely be changing, especially if they hotfix stuff or the meta continues to shift. But based off of our 12-hour impression of the patch, let's create a tier list based off the available synergies here. So starting off in the S tier, are there any things that immediately jump out to you? We'll start with Becca. We'll take turns. Becca picks one, and then Milk will pick one, and then Becca will place another, and then Milk will place another.
I mean, okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's just like the if we're talking about the 2-piece or the 6-piece.
Yeah, in general.
Like blasters. Or maybe cybernetic. Blaster. Cybernetic. Cybernetic. Okay, cybernetic.
Okay. So cybernetic. All right, Milk, your turn. You can place anything you want, anywhere.
I'm going to put Mystic in D.
Whoa, in D. Jeez. All right, Becca.
Because the entire meta is like melee focused, I think, right now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, if Milk doesn't agree, can he?
Totally.
Like, rebuttal
he
me?
can say he doesn't agree, but or Frodan, this is your game. Could people force each other to move into different tiers?
Yes. It's about compromise. We're co-opting this. Originally, we planned out.
Can we move Mystic a little up?
I mean, wait, what AP comps do you see right now?
But everyone, I mean, like, there's always some AP damage, and
even Vel'Koz is true damage.
True, but then if cybernetics and blasters engines are being played, then the 6 not that good. But I feel like
even protect our mech infiltrator.
But eventually, it's gonna get pretty important again now. Okay, I want to put Mana Reaver at like A, pretty high.
Oh, interesting. Mana Reaver. Okay, I wasn't expecting that being.
I mean, and then if people use it more, it makes positioning more fun, just like how like demons were.
Yes. Shout out to Shroud of Stillness. I think it's one of my favorite items of the set.
Milk.
Let's see.
I believe in you.
Wait. Give me a second.
I've noticed on the show, Becca has been more positive and Milk has been more negative.
I'm sorry.
Becca has been placing S and A tier comps, and Milk is straight to D. So I'm very curious if he's gonna.
And they're D. We'll go C. Starship.
Okay.
That's a cop out one.
Starship is C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be D though, but it's probably.
You want us to prompt you, Becca? Where does Blaster go? You've played a ton of Blasters today. I've watched your stream.
A.
All right, Blaster's an A. Does that mean Brawlers are an A too?
Man, Brawlers are good, and they're health tanks, so it doesn't get as affected by true damage or by like. Yeah.
Milk, I think it's your turn.
Do you agree, Milk?
What? Blaster A? Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Brawlers A. What do we got next?
Why don't we just use what's available alphabetically here? Blade Masters. Where do Blade Masters go, Milk?
That's a Keck W.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a Keck W tier. There is an S, A, B, C, and D tier. So.
A D. Blade Master to D.
Just put it in D.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what? You like Blade Master?
No, I don't know. I haven't seen it enough to know, but
I mean, I haven't seen it. Wait, what was the buff again? I didn't read the patch.
These are first impressions.
I like
they barely buffed it. It's like, well, okay, it's like
first impressions.
It's like a 5% increase on chance at 6.
And also, these are supposed to be your knee-jerk reactions. You can't go look up patch notes and.
Good job. Keep going. Celestial,
okay.
where does it go, Milk?
I don't know how to
What about-
fit it, but I mean the synergy itself is like super good, but I don't know what comps play it, so it's like I don't know like what we're doing, like how we're ranking. Are we ranking this off like how good a synergy is, or like how good like the comp is?
How good we think the synergy is right now, just in terms of how people evaluate like if
it's either S or A. I'll just put an A.
A. Okay, great.
Celestial to A. So
All right,
Chrono. Becca.
Ooh, I like Chrono, but okay. Yeah, okay.
But okay, what?
Ah,
What's the
there's
but?
too many in the A's, and maybe I'm just gonna put everything in A.
I mean, that would be the sign of a pretty well balanced game.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, I'll put it in A.
All right. Dark.
I mean, we're talking about like 2 Chrono, but then if we're talking about like 6, I wouldn't know because I haven't seen it.
That's fine. Dark Star Milk.
Alright. I haven't played enough Darkstar. It could literally be either S, A, B, C, or D. It's my first impression.
Let's go to Becca then. Do we have
Okay.
it?
Oh,
But it's probably A or B.
I'm gonna
Is
have B.
A? No, it's
B.
Alright.
B.
Thing is, I don't. It's too early to patch. I can't tell.
Dark Star B.
Now you get cold feet of putting something on.
You're making me nervous. Like you're making me feel like this is gonna matter really.
It's probably A. It's probably A. It's
You know what
probably
they're
A for
gonna
now. And I can tell you in like 2 days. What it is.
Frodan works at
Discord?
Twitch. If you guys get this wrong, he's shutting down your streams for a week.
Okay.
In the Discord, dude, they're gonna meme this list so hard, so maybe it does matter.
Yes, it does matter. Okay. I don't know. Dark Star. Can you come back to Dark Star actually?
Okay, we can come back to Darkstar after we placed everything. Demolition.
Okay.
Demolition.
Oh, Demolition is good.
No way this is like a low rank. Come on.
It's good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Man, it's only
how do
two.
you
it
fit
only-
in a comp half the time now? It's only Rebels, right? So it's like.
Well, no, mechs.
Oh yeah, but you need demo spat usually. Which
Yeah.
Is, you know.
But I would tell you that the difference between a Kaisa that has a demolitionist spat versus not is like an entire tier in itself, I feel.
I just put that in A.
All right. Let's do it.
Demolitionist to A. Infiltrator.
That's your A or S. Just put an A.
An A.
Mercenaries not even a thing. Just skip that. Just put an A.
Put an A.
Mercenary, yeah. Can we not do mercenary? Can we
Put
do
an A. Just put an A.
Not really a thing, but yeah, it is. I mean, we're
Yeah, it's
about
pretty good. I like it. It's-
Protectors either S or A. Just put an A.
Milk, come on.
Becca, where would you put Protector?
A.
Oh, okay. Protector to A.
Protector's fun.
Protector
Wait,
to
can
A.
you move Darkstar back up to A actually?
Yeah. I'm done.
Darkstar's not worse. Darkstar's not the worst trait. Darkstar's pretty good.
I think it's more like a B though.
I haven't played enough of it. But
Okay,
it's
Rebel.
either-
Rebel. Oh, Rebel's hard. It's so uncontested now that it's strong again.
Put that in B. That's a
Put
B.
it in A.
if it's strength,
That's
is
a
that
B.
contested? That's a lame.
Sniper. Sniper
Oh,
has
that's
to be.
true.
Sniper is literally the same as whatever Darkstar's at. Because
That would be, I believe, A.
if you play Sniper, you're playing Darkstar. So those two are like together.
But that doesn't mean the synergy is the same tier.
But they're a pack. They're a pack. No.
I mean, I see what Milk's saying. Like,
Also,
often-
it's like how in the world do you rank space part? Are you saying 4 space part or 2 space part?
Yeah, that's why it's hard.
4 space part. You put that in D. 2 space
Your
part.
guests are
Put that up there.
rebelling against you. Rod Sorcerer, I believe.
Sorcerer.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, I like it. I like
That's a
Sorcerer.
B. That's a B. That's a B.
Sorcerers definitely
Okay.
feel like it's only good if you high roll.
There's
Oh, okay.
there's sorts playable.
Base
Yeah,
pirate.
yeah, it's playable. Good.
I mean,
He's pirate.
can I put in S and D at the same time?
Base
Then
pirate,
that
that
just
would put it at B.
average it out to B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or you could put it in C.
I believe it's in B. Okay, Star Guardian.
No, B. Well, okay. Oh, wait. Are we actually just gonna average it out, or are we gonna talk about it?
I mean,
If you guys want to talk about it, it's fine.
Whatever you want.
actually, It might be S now, because
I
Darius. I mean, super strong early, no?
It's
'Cause
really
Darius got
good early.
Because Darius got buffed.
Darius
too.
goes a lot better.
Jason Graves are good already. Now Darius is good.
Yeah, Darius was dunking a lot more today, and I was like,
you can't end with it, but like. I mean,
do we just put it in S?
just put an A. Is there enough room?
Okay, A, yeah.
Well, I don't know what happens when we put it in A. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if not an A, then put it in S.
Put an A.
Okay, it expanded. We're good. Star Guardians.
Where's H2?
Don't you just put it?
Where's H2?
If you're playing Star Guardians, if you're using the logic of Sniper and Dark Star, wouldn't you just put it with the Sorks?
Yep, I would probably say that's the case. I've rarely seen Star Guardians ever ran without sorcerers. I don't think I've ever seen that actually.
Put that in C. Put that in C.
I agree. Okay, I agree. C.
Okay.
No, is it D? It's probably D. If Mystic's
Is it D? Oh, I mean, okay, C. I think C is fine.
Okay.
Can we move Mystic back up to C then?
Okay, fine.
Actually, Mystic has to be higher than Star Guardian then. Move Mystic back to B then.
Mystics to B? It went from D to B?
If Star Guardian is C, Blade Master is also C.
Okay, so there's no D tier?
I mean,
Blade
not
Master
anymore,
to
because
Okay.
Star Guardian's over there, then everything's moved back up.
Okay, you know what we should do? We should do one final pass after we're done so people can move.
We're almost there. Let's finish up.
Okay.
Valkyrie? And by the way, we'll have to do Mech Pilot separately because it's not on this list for some reason. Twitch chat noticed. Valkyrie? Friends?
It's here.
Good. I like it.
It's good. It's.
Where is
Put
it?
an A. Vanguard's also A. Void's also
Becca, do you
probably.
think Valkyrie should be an A?
I think it's A or yeah,
They're,
A or higher.
both those are an A too. Vanguard and Void are an A. It's fun.
Your
They're
tone
all
is so funny.
Mech is also A.
Vanguard?
A for sure. Mech
Everything is
Pilot.
an A. Everything is an A. Just
No,
put
I don't
everything
like
in A.
Vanguards, man.
Just put everything in A. Everything goes in A.
Becca, where would you put Vanguards?
B.
B?
Wow, interesting.
Wait, really?
I don't like them that much.
Actually, I don't even know because I haven't played enough the Jin. Like, I played the old Jin comp, right? But I haven't played any like 6 Dark Star yet, so I don't know which one's better.
Void?
Squids.
I mean, I haven't seen Squid, but I haven't played it, so just put an A.
No, hang on. Becca?
Oh, Squid is fun.
A, right, Becca?
But we're not basing it based on.
Yeah, not a
It's
fun.
A. It's.
Becca, where would you place it?
Can we ask chat? Chat, where do you guys want Void?
No. That's game, but I feel like it's a bad
It might be
habit
B. It's either B or A. It's either B. Or
You said D or A.
You're all just spamming different letters. They don't
Yeah.
ask chat. Becca, do you think A or B for Void?
Man, maybe B because the items are so specific for
Okay,
a tour.
so let's
probably
do
B.
B. And then where would you guys put Mech Pilot? I know we don't have it on this list.
A. I like A.
We're missing.
It might be S though. It's probably A.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's hard to make something S, but yeah. I really like. I really
Are you
like-
solo mech pilots or is just someone griefing you like Beastie?
Oh, true. Is there, do you have a griefer or no?
Okay, so
I think what we can define the tiers is just like general power level and its flexibility, which I think flexibility is really.
I mean, does Cybernetic have flexibility? Cybernetic have flexibility?
There's not flexible.
You're going 6.
so please don't move Cybernetic to A.
Okay, wait, how about this? We move everything to A and we give Morthog a raise.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna give 2 minutes to see if we can finish this. So where would you guys would you revise or move anything here?
Starship. Okay, if we had to pick something to put in D, what would you put, Milk?
Blade Master.
Okay. Move Blade Master down.
Maybe Star Guardian.
I honestly don't think anyone plays Mystic right now, do they? Like, I mean, you could, but like, I feel like you don't really need it ever.
The Jin comps.
I mean, the Jin comp, you play it, but it's like, is it even needed half the time? I feel. I mean, I feel like there's no situations anymore where you need like 4 Mystics. You know, Maybe actually just leave Mystic. Mystic's probably B. Mystic's B.
Okay.
Sorry, Guardian.
So are we happy with this list? Cybernetic's the only S tier, and Blade Master's the only D.
Oh, you run Blade Masters in Cybernetic.
Cybernetic is so good though, because because of how the streaks are, Cybernetic you can streak really easily with, and I think that adds value. Early,
Just know
and then
that
late,
in approximately
as well.
60 seconds, this list will be finalized, and then the screenshots can start going out.
Wait, what screenshot? No. Wait. Can we start over?
You're fine.
No.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
You don't like this? What?
Okay.
It just I don't know. I don't know what to change, but it just doesn't look correct.
Okay, then think about it.
Change it, yeah. I'll give you a 60-second extension.
Are there any comps that are S? I would say S as in like if you're not considering them in your range of builds, you are playing suboptimal. Kind of like Rebels from the previous. Like there's some people who told me last set, it was like I'm just not playing Rebels no matter what. And I'm like, well, you're just playing suboptimally. Like you're gonna probably bleed LP, or at least you're not gonna climb as fast as you could because it's like that good. You have to like either consider playing it or just. Is there anything like that? Travis. Are we calling time?
You guys really like
I feel like, yeah, let's call time. I know we're just like, I mean, the problem is, here's the problem, guys. A show or a podcast suffers when there's dead air. And whatever you guys are
okay, we can make like a hum noise or something like hum.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
You've got 2 more changes. You can make them right now.
One person can change one thing.
Yes.
And
each of you can make one change.
Becca, where would you change? You said your Vanguard. What do you want?
Okay, I'm gonna move Star Guardians to the bottom.
Okay. Star Guardian to D.
D tier. Okay, Milk?
I'm gonna move Mech Pilot to S.
Okay.
The cybernetic
Okay,
mech
I like
pilot,
that.
a theoretical mech pilot. Okay, we're done.
Great.
Oh, no, wait. Okay.
It's over. We're moving on to our final topic, which is the Giant Slayer series. Frodan, you wanna intro this?
Yes. So part of the reason why we wanted to have Becca and Milk on was to talk about an upcoming tournament hosted by Giant Slayer. They are the people hosting this podcast alongside myself and Travis. And starting, I believe, next Monday, we're going to be doing TFT tournaments. I'm going to cast it with Doa, and we have these 16 players. It is a stacked lobby. Becca and Milk in the same lobby. Have any
we are?
on your groups? Did you guys even get a chance to look at the group at all?
I just saw.
It's up on the screen right now, so.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You can look at it right now.
Show notes.
Milk, you're frowning.
What? No, I'm not. I'm just looking at it. How did Soju get in
That's just his face, Travis.
Soju.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it looks like a fun lobby, or it looks like a fun tournament.
For fun love, yeah.
Okay.
Not for fun. Fun. It looks like it'll be really entertaining to watch. I would watch it even if I weren't in it.
How many EU people are there? 3?
You.
EU West.
Basic, Fluffy,
Gunmay.
Gunmay.
So, if you're watching on Twitch right now, on the channel, GiantSlayerTV, just give it a follow right now so that you can be sure to not miss this whenever it hits. And if you're watching the VOD or listening to the podcast, go to twitch.tv/GiantSlayerTV and follow the channel so you don't miss the tournament, because then you'd miss out on Doa and Frodan casting. And that would
Dude,
be
Travis, that was good. That just made me follow. It worked.
nice. I'm glad.
You were fouled before?
He just reminded me. It was good. He's good at his job.
Thank you.
So if the two of you were to pick one player outside of each other or yourselves to focus on, who would be like the player to watch from your perspective? We can start with Milk here.
Is Salvi on this list?
Salvi is not on this list, unfortunately.
I do appreciate that Milk, given that question, chose someone not on the list.
Wait, how's Salvi not on this list? Soju.
All right, he's going to pick K3 Soju.
Becca?
Wait, I kind of want to hear why Milk picked Soju, so we can give Becca a little more time to think.
Oh. Because sometimes he tries, and sometimes he's for fun player. And you can't really tell.
Gotcha. So, which Shoju will show up is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm gonna pick an EU player because I think, well, all these EU players they play on both servers, so they're gonna be getting more variety. And
Dusky doesn't really play much on A, does he?
Dusky? Okay. Well, I'm gonna pick Fluffy.
Ooh, Hearthstone player, former Hearthstone player.
Why?
Why do you pick Fluffy? Just because you believe in the Europeans?
Well, not that. I mean, NA is great too. It's just that he gets to play. He gets to play on both servers and sees different strats that might work against NA players.
Fluffy did very well, I believe, in the final set 2 tournament for Giant. So that's a really good pick. I think Fluffy's very good.
Well, Frodan, anything else you want to shout out or discuss with this tournament?
Yeah, it's going to be on Mondays. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. I believe we're going to be playing 3 to 4. I think it's 4 lobbies. I have to check that. I should have brushed up on the rulebook right before we go on the show. But we're going to be playing a few lobbies every single time we're going live, and it'll be really fun because you get to see these players try hard, or as you heard Milk say, maybe play for fun. But they'll all be streamed. You get to watch them from their POV as well.
And do we have a time figured out yet for it?
Yep.
Mondays and Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central, says the producer, into our ear and possibly into the stream. Which I believe, what is it? What is that Central? Is that 6? Yeah, it is 6.
It is 6 Pacific, yeah. Giant Slayer is based out of the Midwest. And
I know. They put everything in Central. It's a bad idea for me to flame my folks that are paying me money. But I'll just say, for the rest of us, just subtract 2 from any number you see from Giant Slayer. That's how us West Coast people figure it out. Anyway.
Yeah, well, why do you link Central Time? That's like a grief.
I legit thought it was at 8.
No, it's fun having you on the show.
I mean,
I'm saying, you link everyone Central.
Hopefully
there's
we'll
like a
push them
reason.
to West Coast.
Yeah, you never see like TV shows being like, "Oh, our show's gonna be on at 7 p.m. Central Time." Like,
Well,
no
nobody
one
really
does
watches TV shows anymore either. So,
but
no, I feel like no one ever tells you
because you don't watch
Central
TV in the central. And people in the Central Time Zone in the U.S. use Central Time Zone.
Yeah, but like I'm just, but I feel like everyone Central Time knows PST and EST. You know.
Listen, everyone, the tournament's going to be great. It might have a strange way of advertising its time, but it's going to be sick. So tune in. And I can't wait to find out who the new host is of this show next week or 2 weeks. All right. We're almost done, but we wanted to take a couple questions. Frodan, do you have any queued up? Maybe I'll grab one from the chat as well. But do you have any questions that you want to bring up from the community?
Yes. There's one question we have. Universal types milk only one tricks the OB.
True.
Then that's why I don't say he's the best player. He figures out the meta faster than anyone else. I'll give him that. But he's not the best player because he literally just does this. He's literally, it's like if you're a Teemo one trick and you get to challenger rank, it's like, yeah, you're rank 1, but you can't say you're the best player.
They put the quote on the screen.
Look at his match history. He's rank 5 right now. Rebel. He's just literally forcing over and over again.
I'm not sure if that's a question.
That's a copy pasta.
You know what I mean?
I see one question mark in that block. But it follows. You know what I mean?
That's the question. Yes, I know. We know what you.
What's the question here?
Do you understand what he's saying?
So for people who this is actually a quote from another player in DeliciousMilk's group of Giant Slayer series coming up next week. It's from Scott the Teemo. So it's gonna be fun watching Scott and Milk and Becca all play in the same group. This wasn't a question, it was a setup promo. tournament.
Milk, do you feel like you only one trick the OP shit?
I mean, I'm playing to win. And if you don't play the OP shit, how do you want to climb? I don't understand.
Well, do you think that just by playing the OP shit, do you think that that doesn't make you the best player?
I think it's like, I think every patch is different, and every patch is a different player that's usually the best, but yeah, I don't know.
Do you figure out the meta faster than anyone else?
I think I figured out meta slower than most people, actually.
Okay. Wait, I lost the block of text. We pulled it down, so I can't keep asking. We bring the block of quick text back. I'm working my way through it. We're trying to break down these answers. Well, either way, maybe that's okay. It's back. Okay, where were we?
Okay.
Do you think that if you're a team of one trick and you get to challenger rank 1, you're rank 1, but you can't say you're the best player?
Solo queue is different because solo queue is different than.
Okay, and were you also just forcing rebel every game?
No, I actually played like almost 20 games in a row of no rebels, and I demoted to Diamond 1.
Very good.
I remember when Milk was 1 and 2 on the during set 2. I was like, oh man, he must be doing something right. So I went over and looked at his match history, and it was all Ocean Mage.
Shadows?
Ocean Mage,
wait, which one? Oh, that one?
Mage. That was when Ocean
Are you
Mage.
sure it was Ocean Mage?
Wow, Becca, you're supposed to have his back. You're just
Those some sins, no? In set 2?
When I checked, it was just all Ocean Mage. But then that was good because then I learned from that, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll play Ocean Mage then, if I want to go up.
Yeah, and then you got the Twitch spamming Ocean Man. Copy pasta in your chat.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that does it for all of our questions. So maybe we can just go around and do our final.
That's our only
That
question.
wasn't even a question. that was a copy pasta to grief me.
It was like 6 questions.
I asked you multiple questions based on.
Okay. We didn't ask any questions.
It's okay. I'm good. I'm good. Let's move on. I'm done.
Wait, is there a Becca copy pasta that we could use for this? I don't know.
No.
I think it's time to wrap the show, Travis.
Frodan, you want to shout out, plug anything? We'll go do a round of shout outs here at the end.
Wait, there's a good question. I'm from Cuba. You are like.
Alright, respond to that question, Becca.
Very like. Yes. Very like.
Frodan, plug shout outs.
Thank you to Giant Slayer. Definitely check out the tournament next Tuesday. Doe has been putting a lot of time learning set as well. So, I'm also grinding a ton whenever I can. And so I'm looking forward to casting Milk, Becca, and Scott, one big happy family in Group A. It's going to be great.
Becca, any shout outs?
Shout out to Golden Guardians for allowing me to become friends with such a nice guy who doesn't only spam one comp like Milk.
Wow.
Milk, any shout outs, plugs?
Same as Becca.
Shout out to Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, for me, you could check out my stuff over at Travis Gafford, my YouTube channel. I cover League of Legends mostly, and obviously we're heading into playoffs, so a lot of stuff going on over there. And shout out to Giant Slayer for making this whole thing possible. And also shout out to Becca for hosting the stream, because we definitely demolished our first week viewership record. So it's always really nice whenever we'll end up doing that.
Beat Toast, Becca.
Yeah.
Host from your friend
Toast can't host. I think is probably, he has a disadvantage, I think, coming into this viewership race. Thanks to both of you guys for coming on. Thanks to Frodan for co-hosting with me. Thanks to Giant Slayer. And thanks for all of you for watching. Be sure to, by the way, we're on podcast platforms. We're on Twitch, twitch.tv/GiantSlayerTV, YouTube, etc. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So go follow Giant Slayer, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks to bring you another episode of Teamfight Talkshow.